Lenn Johnson here. We're out on the lake. We got some 2022 demos with us, and we're here with Matt.
Yes, sir.
And Matt, what are you driving right now for a sled?
2020 850 XC.
XC.
Yep.
And what did you just try?
VR1 850.
All right.
137?
No, 129.
129. Yep.
How's it go?
Awesome. Night and day difference.
Yep.
Honestly. Especially on the trails. Handles the bumps. Awesome. Shocks are perfect. I'll be snow checking one.
What did you just see for speed on the lake?
118. 118.
And that
stock sled.
That thing's got about 80, 90 miles on it.
87.
Yeah.
Yep. Sled pulls great. Handles awesome. Awesome sled.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
What's the biggest difference you notice between your Axis chassis and the Matrix? First thing that comes to you when you start driving.
Corners.
Cornering?
Handling the corners. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I thought I had that one good, and this out handles it.
We're again on the XCR 650 getting some rider feedback, and we're with Jim. Where are you from, Jim?
Raymond, New Hampshire.
Raymond, okay.
Yep.
And what are you currently riding?
Currently riding a 2021 Matrix Assault 146.
And 850, right?
850, yeah.
All right. So give me some feedback on the 650. What do you think of this XCR?
I could ride this thing all day long and not feel a thing. It's the 650. It's got great power. It's really smooth. And it's just amazing in the bumps, and I really notice in the corners too. It's really amazing in the corners with that shorter track.
Yep. What do you think of the suspension?
Suspension is great. Great. Really soaks up the bumps, and like I said, I could ride this all day long and not feel it at the end of the day.
Are you saying the Assault's a little stiff?
The Assault is a little stiff for me.
Compared to this.
Yeah.
So this isn't overly stiff at all, is it?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, and that was one of the concerns everybody had was, you know, XCR, bigger shocks, stiffer springs. Can they make it ride good? Well,
I think they did. I think they nailed it.
Hey everyone, another Trailside report. Another new rider on the XCR 650. Chris, tell us about yourself a little bit.
I work for MOMS North Country Powersports, and I've been riding an Axis 17800 Assault. Absolutely love it, and dabbled a little bit on the Matrix so far this year, but riding the XCR is totally different. It's amazing how good this sled handles. Even with the 650 motor, it pulls hard, you know, corner to corner, hanging right around close to you as I can when you're on the 850. So yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, so in bumps, what do you think?
Unreal. I mean, it just, you see something coming, you kind of cringe, and it just soaks it up.
Right.
Even compared to the regular VR1, it's amazing when you get on this and just feel the difference of it.
Yeah.
You know, they're both great sleds, but this definitely, for the aggressive riders, the next level.
Yeah,
for sure.
You were just mentioning the handlebars.
Yeah,
Tell us about those.
A little bit taller handlebar riser, so I don't know. For me personally, it's just a little bit more natural position coming from an Assault. So you know, definitely notice a big difference with that riding versus the VR1.
Okay. Yep. What about wind protection? What do you think about wind protection?
Compared to the Axis, even with this mid windshield, it's a lot warmer of a ride. I was riding an Axis a little earlier today, and you know, kind of getting a little chilly. And jump on this, and it's amazing how much better it feels. Yeah, definitely.
And the gauge, the 7F.
Oh, I mean, that's just that sells itself. That thing's amazing. You know, it's got good visibility, tons of features. The hand warmers are awesome. Yeah, playing with different features of it, it's great for sure.
And you were just talking about the seat.
Yeah, I don't know what, the seat felt more comfortable on this for some reason than the other Matrix that I've ridden today. So maybe it's just in my mind because I fell in love with the sled. And now I'm going to buy one.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Lenn Johnson back again. Now we have a testimonial from a female rider, and this is Brooke.
Yeah.
So Brooke, you've got a chance to ride a few different sleds today. Tell me what you think of the XCR.
I enjoyed riding the XCR, took the bumps really well. Colors look good too, of course. Handles really well. I was riding some older sleds. I've ridden the VR1. I've ridden the 2021, and I definitely think they're handling really well. The Matrix is awesome.
You can notice a difference
Yes.
between that and the
Yep.
Axis chassis.
The Axis. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
No.
But no, the
Well,
six-
now
and
you're
60
spoiled because you
yeah,
got.
I know. I'm just
you're riding a
spoiled.
VR1
That's what my
now.
husband says. I'm
Yeah.
spoiled on the Matrix.
So, as a female rider, and how long you been riding? First of all.
I used to ride all the time in high school, but I just started getting back into it this year.
Okay.
So
So, when you're looking at a sled from a woman's perspective, what would you be looking for things?
I'm looking at comfort
Okay.
and the way it handles. So I want to be able to take it around the corner and not worry about, like, I've ridden some that are set up for the lake,
Yep.
and I didn't like it at all.
can't turn
I'm not
them, right?
comfortable. I
Yep.
can't. I
Yep.
didn't like it at all. And these ones, I feel so much more comfortable. I just love it.
Do you find that the wind protection's better on the Matrix chassis?
Yes. Oh yeah,
Versus
for
the
sure.
Axis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The seat, how's that feel
Very comfortable.
compared to
it's-
the Axis seat?
Yep. Yep. Like I said
Okay.
before, I'm sitting down, going over the bumps. I didn't even have to stand up.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. And what about the brake? Have you noticed how easy that brake is?
Yes. Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, way easier. Because I was having a hard time actually. I talked to Chris earlier. I'm like, how are we doing this? Are we doing the one finger? You know, because you want to keep control of the handlebars. But
Right.
yeah, it is way easier.
Very confidence inspiring going into a corner. You know it's going to turn every time.
Yeah. And the rear skid, way better than the
Yeah, way better than the 137, and I don't know what's different, but it is definitely better.
Hey everyone, Lenn Johnson here. Just got done driving that new Polaris XCR and a new VR1, which are both 2022s. This one's a 650, the XCR, and the 850 is in the VR1 chassis, which is a 129. And so we're here with the Philippones, and a big shout out to MOMS and the crew at MOMS in Groveton. Awesome getting the sleds ready. Everybody appreciates it. I mean, I appreciate it. And I'm sure you guys do too.
Absolutely. Great job, Moms.
So we're gonna get some rider feedback. These guys are already driving Polaris sleds. So we'll start with Marco. What do you drive now?
So I've got a 2019, XC850. So similar power to the VR1 850, but I will tell you, the chassis is certainly much more impressive in the Matrix chassis. It is much narrower. It is much more rider friendly. As far as ergos, sliding back and forth, running through the trails. I think the shock valving also is actually a little more refined than they had in 2019, so it actually rides a little smoother. So everything is just actually certainly a little bit better, but a much more comfortable sled. And the power is all there, obviously. It's still there, none of it's gone away. Actually, I think if anything, it's a little quicker than some of our XC. So I was very impressed, actually, with the 850. The 650 as well, thoroughly impressed with the power of the 650. I've never run a 650. And that new 136 chassis, that new 136 skid, is very impressive. It is quite a step up from the 129, which I've been driving for 3 years. So thank you for letting us drive it.
Yeah.
Really,
So what do you
really
think your
great.
next sled's gonna be?
Quite honestly, I'm probably looking at a XCR 136 850. So one of the things that I noticed from this too is like when we were running down the trails, and some of them were rough trails, I was purposely going into the bumps.
Yes.
A lot of times I'd find on my 2019, I'm looking to avoid the bumps. I'm driving around them. This chassis is so comfortable at speed that I was just driving through them, and I was just every time I was like, I just cannot believe how comfortable it actually is in the bump.
Guy?
Yes.
And Guy, what are you riding right now?
2020 XCR 850. Got about 3,000 miles on it. Absolutely love the sled. Had a 2019 XC. Moved up to the XCR because I wanted the shocks. Drove this new XCR 650 with the 136 skid in it. Thoroughly impressed. This is the exact sled that I wanted to try because this is the sled that I wanted to get. I'm all set with the 850 motor. I know how that is. Very comfortable with that. as soon as I get on this thing, I realize right away how much better that rear skid is.
Better than what you're driving.
Better than what I'm driving now, and actually, it rides, it'll take the bumps better. The rear end will take the bumps better than I think a VR1 137. For the type of riding that I do, I'm a big guy, so I need a little bit heavier valving, and I never had a problem with bottoming, never had a problem, and it didn't push in the corners. First 136 I've ever driven that doesn't push in the corners.
Yeah, definitely didn't. I noticed that too.
Tip rail.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the tip rail or what, but
Yeah, there's some dynamic going on with that
Yeah.
sled because it is planted.
it's planted,
You
it
can
steers
feel it.
very, very comfortable going into any corner, knowing it's not gonna push or wash out on you. It's planted, so you go into a corner, it's not like you have to lean or you have to roll back on the throttle to plant the front end. It's there already, and you can roll through the corners on the power, which is tough to do on a 129 or anything else. But this one is, whatever they did to it, and the chassis suspension wise, it works.
And Cody is Dee's son.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So Cody, give us your impressions.
Yeah.
What are you driving right now?
I got a 19 Assault 850, and then I got a Skidoo 1200 as well. I'm looking at replacing the Assault with something new. I don't know if I wanted to get away from the Assault, but I rode that 136 and I really like it. Like he said, it doesn't push in the corners. The Assault obviously pushes some, but I'm really happy with the 136. I would get an 850. I'm still on the fence between a 850 XCR 136 or a Assault 146.
So you felt that the suspension. I mean, we tweaked it before we rode.
Yeah,
We
yep,
took the valving and backed it way down, so we
Yep.
had to
yep.
start soft and work our way up.
Right. For the riding we do, absolutely. We valved it soft enough where took the bumps and it was stable through the bumps and through the corner. There's not too much rebound, not too little rebound. It's stable through the bumps at speed with that 136.
Right.
Yeah.
I found that the new 2022 137. No, that's the
129.
129. But the VR1, I can tell that between my 2021 VR1 137
Yeah.
and this, the valving has been refined even more.
Seems really nice.
Polaris has done some more refinement to that suspension valving, and it's even more plush.
For literally picking it up from the dealer, making a couple of clicks,
Yeah.
I was impressed for
Yeah.
sure.
The newer gauge. So one of the things that we haven't had is the newer gauge. You know, we've seen it and stuff, and I'll tell you, I was toggling through it as we were going through, and you were teaching me that. And thank you very much for doing that. Is, you know, that little buddy system, so I could see where, you know, the other sleds were, and it's just, again, it gives you a level of confidence when you're looking at the trail markers and everything. You know where you are. You can back in, you can back out, zoom in, back out. Zoom in. And it was just fabulous, you know, and any data you wanted, you could have, you know, and put it anywhere you want, you know, and we were kind of setting that up, and it was just, it's the next level, you know. Now that I've seen it, I don't ever want to go back to a standard gauge. You know, even the PIDD seems, you know, pretty basic now.
Do you guys find that the Matrix chassis is just more confidence inspiring at speed? Does it feel, to me it feels easier to drive?
I think it is. Because it's easier to move around on. I can just lean with that, and all of a sudden you're on the left-hand corner of the sled. Whereas with the Axis, you just have to move a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's more stable because you can put the weight where you need it faster. I feel for sure.
Lenn Johnson coming to you from Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, and I'm going to give you my rider report on the new 2022 Indy XCR 650. I am really impressed with the sled, thoroughly impressed. I'm driving a VR1 850 right now in a 137 skid, and this is a 136, and I can tell you that this sled is a dream to ride on the trails. The handling is just that one notch higher or one notch better than the current VR1 chassis. The shock package is dialed completely in. I've got the clickers on maybe 3 clicks all the way around, high speed and low speed, and it's perfect. It's amazing how good this machine handles, takes bumps. It's a really good ride. I was expecting it to be harsh and stiff, and I was expecting to have to really push it hard to get the suspension to work right away when you first start driving it. From the first bump you hit, you're going to be able to tell that it's very compliant. It rides as good, if not better, than the VR1 and the regular stuff. But when you really start pushing it, it just doesn't bottom. And I'm 6 foot tall, 250 pounds, and it handles my weight no problem. I would like a little more motor, so I'm not a 650 guy. I'm going to want an 850 in this sled. But I can tell you, I'm impressed with the 650. It does do a pretty good job, but it's not an 850. I do like the new handlebars. They have these hooks, and they're just ergonomically perfect. The bar rises a little taller. The seat feels a little different than my VR1. I don't know if Polaris has changed the foam. Not quite sure, but it's super comfortable. Wind protection, of course, is the same as the Matrix that I currently ride. This particular sled has the 1.6 Cobra track, which with no studs or anything, and it's good in snow. But on the trail, we had a VR1 today, 850, in a 129 skid that had the Ice Ripper track, which is a 1.25 lug, and I really like that track. I'm going to order that track on this sled. This one's just a too loose and squirrely for me on hard packed trails, but that Ice Ripper 1.25, amazing. That track was amazing. Great acceleration, great braking. Probably not as good in deep snow as this track, but I'm a trail guy, you know. I'll suffer in deep snow and make up for it on nice trails. This is what I am ordering here in an 850. 136, 850 XCR home run Polaris. Awesome job engineering, you guys. The shocks, don't change the calibrations. They're perfect. Don't change anything on this thing. I love the brake too. It seems to have more feedback than the standard brake that's on my VR1. I like it takes a little bit more input to lock it up, and I like that. It's a little easier to modulate the brake. That's pretty impressive. And of course the colors on the sled are amazing. It really sticks out. Turned a lot of heads today. We probably got 130, 140 miles on it now, and the engine's still continuing to wake up, getting stronger and stronger. So this particular demo sled has the Ice Ripper XT, I think that's what it's called. It's a 1.25 pre-studded track, and this is a 129 skid. Very impressed with this sled. This is an 850 VR1, and it really goes, I have to say. I don't know what's different in the engine department, but this thing is strong. It runs very, very strong. I'm impressed. You know, this is a good all-around sled. This is a sled you can do lots of miles on and be comfortable all day. It's fun. It likes to wheelie when you get onto it. Just a good overall sled. I really like the 129 chassis. Definitely easier to maneuver in corners and tight trails than the 137. You can definitely tell that this is quicker responding sled. So overall, I like the sled. That's about it. I'm really impressed with it. I hope you guys, follow us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my daughter Brooke's channel. Please help her out by subscribing. Lenn Johnson, Polaris Ambassador, coming to you from Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. Thank you for watching.